Wow, I'm excited. Welcome and good evening to the first ever COVID-19 Relief-a-thon. I'm Hamilton County Commissioner Vice President Alicia Reese, and I'm also the chair of the Economic Recovery and Relief Task Force. And we were created in February of 2021 and charged with helping to better connect citizens and small businesses to relief. So we are excited. Since the inception of the task force, I'm very proud to report that we were able to roll out a new comprehensive and mobile-friendly economic one-stop portal, 513relief.org. That's where you can go and get everything you need to know about what's available economically. Our Relief-a-thon is designed to connect you to economic assistance that is available for your family, for your small businesses, to be able to bounce back in these very tough COVID-19 times. Let's go downtown to, let's go to Avondale and talk to the CEO, Moira Weir from United Way, who's going to tell us how this works. I mean, she's right there, and I want to thank her and her staff because when we came up with this idea, she said, we're on board, we're ready to go, but they're the ones that's going to be taking the calls.
Thank you for having us this evening. We are very excited, and just so folks know what they can expect, during the Relief-a-thon, folks can call 211, and a navigator, someone in our team, will be standing ready to take your call live to the residents of Hamilton County. We will ask for a little bit of information just so we can document your needs, for instance, your name, zip code, email, phone number, and if it's a small business, any additional information that we would be helpful. We're going to talk about, get a little idea of what it is that you need, and then we're going to make a referral. We'll also share information that I think Commissioner already mentioned, the 513relief.org website, which is an awesome place for lots of great information. But we'll also make an immediate electronic referral to the provider that one of our colleagues tonight, that is most appropriate to help the resident what they need. We have a commitment from our colleagues that calls will be returned within 24 to 48 hours. If there's a mental health crisis call, we will make a warm transfer to the Talbot House crisis line. So we will ensure that folks are connected there. We are a little unsure of the call volume. So we're asking folks that, you will talk to a live person. If you're on hold for longer than 3 minutes, you'll go then to voicemail, but don't be alarmed. Leave your information and you will get a phone call back from one of our care coordination folks, either tonight or within the next 24 hours. So we are committed to making sure that residents have an opportunity to speak to someone live, and then we'll make sure that a warm transfer happens. And then we have a commitment from our colleagues that they will be following up immediately with everyone. And we hope that during this call, we can share other information that will be helpful. And that, again, we're just super excited to be a part of this. And it's something that's obviously something we're committed to doing. So thank you very much.
I want to now go down to Jobs and Family Services and Tim McCartney, is he on? Let's go down to Jobs and Family Services and talk to Tim McCartney. Tim, hello.
Hello, Commissioner. Good evening. Thank you for having us as a part of this, and I'm thrilled to follow our wonderful partner, United Way. They have been just great to work with throughout this entire pandemic. We've partnered with them on a great deal of stuff.
Now, we have heard about $15 million coming in additional for rental assistance. We heard our mayor here in Forest Park, who has indicated that people need help with rental, and Jobs and Family Services is ready to go. Talk to us about how that works and what do people do if they need rental assistance?
Absolutely. As you know, JFS has many benefits, but yes, I'll focus on the CARES Act rental utility assistance program. This is a pandemic-only program. We offer some other ones during the normal year, but this is pandemic only. So if you are a renter, whether you're a single adult, you're a family, you may be eligible if you've suffered a loss of income as a result of the pandemic, you're behind on your rent or utilities, and you meet some income requirements, which are pretty broad, up to $62,150 a year for a family of 3. If you want to find out if you're eligible, you can call 211 now and they can walk you through the process to apply. But better yet, If you want to find out more quickly and get your application in, go straight to that 513relief.org website. Once you're there, click on the icon that looks like a house for rent and utility assistance. Then select the first option, which is the Hamilton County Rent and Utility Program. Click on the link to apply. You can fill out the application right there and submit it electronically. You can also submit verifications with it. After you submit the application, you'll get a confirmation email. This email will contain an application confirmation code. The code's needed to help you submit additional verifications and will assist us in locating your application. If you don't have the internet, go ahead and call 211 and they can give you can give them your information and we will contact you within 48 hours. A couple of things to know about this program. To be eligible, you have to be a Hamilton County resident. You need to be renting. We can provide up to $5,000 of assistance. And again, the income guidelines are substantial. Again, up to $62,150 for a family of 3. If you're not a renter and you're behind on your mortgage, you can check out a similar program at 513relief.org that's offered by the Community Action Agency. They can help with mortgage assistance. Typically, Commissioner, the things that you'll need once you do this is a letter from unemployment that indicates that you've lost your job, a statement showing how much you owe in your rent or utilities, and then documentation of the loss of income. Again, we can pay up to $5,000 for rent and utilities. It's important to note it goes directly to your landlord. And you'll see links at the page for what the landlord needs to do to be able to receive that money. So we're really excited about this program. We've helped a lot of people and expect to help more and more. Again, if you call 211 tonight, they'll get your information and we will be in contact with you by email or phone within the next 48 hours.
That's awesome. Tim, don't go anywhere. Mayor, I want to go back to you. We just heard Tim McCartney. He's down at the headquarters working hard, Jobs and Family Services, and they have a lot of programs, but this one we wanted to focus on rental. You mentioned earlier that is a big concern with people being able to pay the rent. People are having to move in with each other and families moving in with each other just to have a place to live. How important is it?
It's extremely important. You know, there's been legislation that has stalled rent payments. Basically, you can't put somebody out, at least during the pandemic, because they weren't able to pay the rent. But it's my understanding that does not erase the debt.
Right.
So when all is said and done, you still owe that money. And with people being out of work, and having other expenses that are ongoing, even though they can't be put out or couldn't be put out then or right now, at some point, the bill is going to come due. And that's the importance of these kinds of programs. And what you're doing is helping people to see and find areas where I can get this money, I can start paying it now, instead of waiting until the ban is lifted and having someone knock on their door and say, okay, you didn't pay then, I couldn't put you out then, but I can put you out now.
That's right. So I want to go back to Tim at Jobs and Family Services. That brings me to our next point, that we have some people that have sent in some questions. Utilities, because that's the other one. We had people holding off on the utility bill, but that didn't stop the bill. It's still piled up, and utilities are due now. You got the gas and electric has to be paid. Tim, talk to us about help that you have available down at Jobs and Family Services right now for people who may run into this, because we're talking to a lot of people who've never had to ask for help ever and don't know where to go. That's why we have the Relief-a-thon that we're doing right here for those who are just tuning in. Let's go to Tim for Jobs and Family Services. What's available for someone who has to pay their utility bill now?
Absolutely. And to your point, Commissioner, and to the mayor's point, a lot of people, anecdotally, we've heard have been paying the rent or utilities with their credit card. So they're building up a massive credit card debt because again, they've never reached out for help before, and so the debt just keeps coming. As he said, it doesn't go away. So for utilities, same program I just mentioned is for utilities. You would go through the same process, and then also show us a utility bill that showed the amount owed, the account number, and the name and address on the account. Again, we can help up to $5,000 with that, and that's any type of utility. We also have another program, Commissioner, that we run year round, even in non-pandemic times. It's called PRC because no good government organization wouldn't have an acronym for it, but it stands for Prevention, Retention, and Contingency. It has a few more limitations than the CARES Act program, but it can pay for some additional things. And you can access the application for this program the same way as I shared the CARES Act application by going to 513relief.org. Once there, you click on the second link and it will take you to a page where you can select apply for PRC. To be eligible for PRC, you have to be a Hamilton County resident. In this case, you have to have a child under 18 in the home, and the income limits is a little bit more strict. You have to be below 200% of federal poverty limit. And for a household of three, that is $43,440. If you're eligible for this program, we can help you up to $3,000 in a 12-month period. In addition to rent or utilities, we can also pay for transportation, car repairs, baby items like cribs and bedding, and beds and bedding in general, if it's going to be able to help you stay in your home. The verification process for this is very similar to what I described in the CARES Act. And again, you can call 211 tonight and they'll walk you through the process, but can't emphasize enough that better yet, go directly to 513relief.org and just follow the links for the rental and utility assistance. That application will get submitted directly to us, and we will be in contact with you within 48 hours.
All right, we got 513relief.org. You could go there, fill out the application now. Or for those who, want to talk to someone, you could go to 211 right now. Call 211 right now. My last question, I know we're going to bring you back, but one of the things, Mayor, you brought up, there are some people who've never had to access help before, people who were working and have been furloughed, I'm sorry. I want to ask you, Tim, is there something available for that? I want to make sure you highlight that as well. There's something, if you were working, you were furloughed, you've never had to access any assistance before, we have something that can help you through this program with Jobs and Family Services as well, right?
Yeah, our regular benefits, if you were furloughed or laid off, if you've had a loss of income and that income has lasted for a particular period of time, for most of our programs, we look at your previous month's income. That for like food assistance or cash assistance, also the PRC program. But as it relates to furlough, that would be a loss of income that you've had. You can look into the CARES Act programs that I've talked about. You can also sometimes, if you're furloughed or it turns into a layoff, and your COBRA is running out, you can apply for medical assistance through us. We also do subsidized childcare. If you do go back to work, but maybe your work shift is a little bit different. So there's a multitude of other programs that JFS offers in normal times and in pandemic. Last year, we either distributed directly or had passed through us over $3 billion to go into the community during this pandemic to frankly keep it afloat. And those things help, grocery stores, they help medical providers, retailers, doctors, hospitals, all those all those sorts of things. So if you follow those links and go to our website, you will see links for all sorts of different type of help. Again, food assistance, medical assistance, cash assistance, the emergency assistance that I've already talked about. So, and if you call 211, they have all that information. They can direct you. But if you just follow the links on 513relief.org, you can get to virtually anything that we have to offer.
All right, Tim, we'll have you on a little bit later. Jobs and Family Services, the safety net of our county. And we know about it more than ever now, Mayor, that the safety net is important. People are trying to bounce back and balance their own budgets in their own households, right?
Absolutely. All of these agencies and our partners, whichever term you want to use, are going to be vitally important right now, especially for those people who have never before had to seek help. Because, if you're accustomed to doing something, it's easier for you to do. But if you've never done it before, you need all of the help that you can get in just getting to the right place, getting to the right people, asking the right questions, knowing where the various types of help are available.
We're going to move into the small business component. And I think we've got some great guests to talk about small business. And I want to bring them on because a lot of small businesses certainly took a hit during COVID-19. And many of them are starting to reopen. Many aren't able to open at full capacity. Some that opened had to get new COVID health restrictions, and that required investment. And then there are some that did not reopen. So we're going to talk about what's available for small businesses. And I want to welcome Urban League CEO Eddie Cohen, HCDC CEO Patrick Longo, NDC PPP loan officer David Lucas, GCMI Executive Director Willie Hill, to talk about what's available for small businesses.
All right, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for having and hosting this, Commissioner Reese. This is just an incredibly challenging time. I also have joining me my Small Business Development Center Director, Wanda Walker Smith, who works directly with entrepreneurs and small businesses on growth. Just for folks who are not familiar with the work that we do at the Business Development and Entrepreneurship Center at the Urban League, we serve about 1,600 businesses. So everything from certification to technical assistance to getting extra capital for your investments. And I'm really thrilled to have some partners here like Pat Longo from HCDC and David Lucas from NDC when we talk about immediate funding right now. The payroll protection program is not too late to apply. If you want to know more about that, you can go to our website. It's www.ulgso.org/PPP. And Willie, who we've partnered with in his organization, GCMI, we have created a fund called the Resilience Fund that targets small Black and brown businesses that are 100K in revenue. So there's a small business relief, and then there's the micro business relief that we really want to hone in to make sure that no one is left out during this COVID relief package. So I will kick it over to Willie Hill from GCMI.
All right. Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate it. And thanks, Commissioner Reese, for the work that you're doing. And this is some challenging times. And we're excited to be partnering with the Urban League to be able to offer these relief grants through their Resilience Fund. The Resilience Fund is structured to be able to try to touch businesses at different levels. There's three different tiers and 4 different grant offerings, $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, and $15,000. So we're here to be able to help these businesses bridge, help these businesses pivot, It's not just grants too. I mean, we're offering technical assistance, support for them, in need. And they're, not everybody's going to receive a grant, but we hope to touch, close to 230, 240 businesses. And I think that's just the start. And so that's exciting to be able to have that impact with all those businesses. And we're just excited to be able to support the community and support the Urban League and what you're doing, Commissioner Reese.
Now, Willie, before we move on, I want you ran through that really fast, but
Okay.
I wanted to kind of step back. For those who are watching, you might have a beauty shop or a barber shop, or you have a restaurant, or any type of micro business. Can you identify what is a micro business and what's available? Break it down in terms of availability for grants for micro businesses, because there are a lot of 1 and 2 and 3 employee type of businesses that usually can't go to a bank to get help or may not qualify for a PPP loan. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, thank you. So, the focus of the Resiliency Fund is really to try to touch those businesses that are 100,000 and less in revenues. That's one of our main focuses where we want to see the highest impact. And a lot of those are solopreneurs. They are the smaller businesses. They are the businesses that are just like you're saying, one person operations, and they're having 1099 people working for them and supporting their business. And those are the ones that slightly got overlooked, we thought, a little bit in the first round of the PPP. And I think the work that NDC is doing and what HCDC and SBDC, all of these acronyms, right, are supporting these businesses and trying to help them, gain access to resources. And I think that's an important piece. And it's not all just grants. Because some of these businesses need help in just helping with their systems, right? Helping them be able to pivot and change the way they deliver their services. I think we all understood how delivery works now, right? And how do you, because we all use it now, and but there are a lot of businesses that weren't ready for that. And so we want to try to help businesses get prepared. And this is a way to be able to do it. And we want to touch those type of businesses that you described.
And you can do that. You can call right now at 211, call the hotline right now, and they will make sure that you are connected with the right entity that can help your small business. I mean, I think that's great news that there are grants and technical assistance available for the smaller micro businesses. Let's bring in Patrick Longo, if you don't mind, from HCDC.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Reese. Appreciate coming out and supporting the Relief-a-thon. My partners here, with the Urban League and GCMI, we've been partnering with these organizations for many years. We're a collaborative, and we want to do great things and are doing great things for this community. The aspect that I want to bring up and talk about is the Hamilton County Small Business Relief Fund. We've already done 2 rounds of these grants up to $10,000. And so far, we've already supported 796 businesses in Hamilton County. And about 95% of those were between 0 and 10 employees. And when we say 0, they might be a 1099 contractor. And what's really cool is 49% of these grants have gone out to women-owned businesses. 47% has gone out to minority businesses, people who are Black or brown, and 5% went to veterans. And altogether, the county has supported this to the tune of $6.9 million. And what we're excited to talk about tonight is we're going to be doing round 3, opening up in April. And we're going to have about $4 million of funding available. And these, again, will be grants up to $10,000. We've kind of expanded it a little bit. We're going to open it up to businesses between 0 and 50 employees or 1099 contractors. These are businesses, as you were talking to Willie. Willie was talking about micro enterprises. This supports a lot of micro enterprises, but it can also support a business that may be up to about $2.5 million worth of revenue on an annual basis. So this is there's some neat things. What are some of the typical uses? This is to pay maybe a business mortgage or a business rent. Utility expenses, your electricity, your sewer, your gas, maybe your phone, internet, water, waste removal. We can help pay some salaries. So we've done a lot of different things with this, and we can also do the PPP equipment. Those kinds of things are very, very nice. And the nice thing is the collaborative. We leveraged, Eddie and Wanda and Willie's organizations, to help with technical assistance. They helped people when they wanted, hey, I need to fill out my application. This is where I need some help. These folks have been very, very helpful. And the nice thing is if you go to the website that you've been announcing all night, 513relief.org, they have information about what the Urban League has talked about, what GCMI has talked about, what the National Development Council is going to talk about here in a minute, and also what HCDC is talking about right now. So the website is very good. And when you get to the website, look for the icon that is the open sign, and that's going to lead you to the small business portal, which will allow you to kind of access the contact information for these organizations.
Absolutely. And you had some good things that you brought up. And I want to thank my colleagues, Commissioner Stephanie Dumas, who's our president of the commission, and Commissioner Denise Driehaus, who worked on this to get money available. And we're looking forward. And I was happy to also vote for more money to be coming. Call 211 and you can get on the list. Money will start going out in April for small businesses through HCDC, through the county's program. And so you can get on the list right now. 211 is the number, or you can go to 513relief.org. Now, I want to bring in, there's a lot of concern about PPP. We've heard from the president of the United States, Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris, who have said that we're going to open PPP up for smaller businesses, for minority businesses, women-owned businesses, Hispanic, African-American businesses. I want to bring in NDC PPP loan officer, David Lucas.
Thank you, Commissioner Reese. Glad to be here to support Hamilton County small businesses access these critical programs, especially the PPP program. The Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP as we all call it, these funds are still available for first draw and second draw loans. So businesses that have received the PPP loan in the past are eligible to get a second, and businesses that haven't received a PPP loan and they're on their first PPP loan, there's still time for them to apply as well. It's not likely that funding will run out before the end of this month, which is when the program is set to expire. I'll say that there's a chance that that deadline might get extended, but I would caution any small business owner that there's no time to waste, that they should be applying with any lender that will take an application to ensure their chances of getting funding before the program expires. And that's kind of just to backtrack for a minute. It's a pretty common misconception that a business can apply with only one lender. You can really apply with as many different lenders as you're able to. So I don't want to discourage any small businesses from doing whatever they can to increase their chances of getting funded. So how the program works is it was created to really prevent employees from getting laid off due to a COVID-related business interruption. Lenders like us, SBA lenders like us, can make PPP loans to small businesses that amounts to 2.5 months worth of their payroll. And you can use your 2019 payroll or your 2020 payroll to determine what that monthly average is, whichever gives you the higher PPP loan. But to that point, only W-2 payroll can be used. So this is not a program that you can count your 1099 employees. Now, those 1099 employees can apply for their own PPP loan. They're technically their own businesses and they're eligible to apply. And Commissioner Reese, to your point about President Biden opening up the program to more small businesses, the recent change that was made a couple weeks ago was to allow sole proprietors or self-employed businesses or gig workers to use their gross income rather than their net income to base their PPP loan off of. So a lot of businesses that reported a loss on their Schedule C were previously ineligible. And if they got declined by a lender in the past, because they weren't eligible for the program under the previous rules. They should now reapply because they might be eligible based on the changes that were made last week. And then as long as the funds are used on payroll, the loan will be fully forgiven. So it's a fully forgivable loan. It's structured as if it's a loan, and then the business will apply for forgiveness no sooner than 8 weeks after they're funded. And then assuming that they can document that they spent the money on things that they were supposed to, that loan is fully forgiven. As far as eligibility goes, small businesses can apply, nonprofits, religious institutions. Really, the SBA is opening this program up to a lot of entities that weren't previously eligible for SBA funding. Really, if there's W-2 payroll, the business is probably eligible. And if they're a self-employed business, then they're probably eligible as well.
All right. Well, David, I know we're running out of time, and this is some great information. David is an expert. David Lucas is an expert in DC, and you actually do PPP loans yourself. So people can call 211 and ask for NDC loan officer David Lucas, and David 211 will get that information to you. You'll be able to get back to the people and walk them through this process.
Yes, ma'am. I'm happy to do it, Commissioner. Thank you.
All right. Well, you heard it. I mean, my goodness, churches can apply for this. Sole proprietors can apply for this. You have until the end of the month. So you want to call right now, 211, so you can get a call back. David Lucas can call you back from NDC if you're interested in getting in on PPP loans. I want to thank HCDC CEO Patrick Longo. Also, GCMI, Willie Hill. You've heard they've got grants ready to go for micro businesses right now. I want to thank CEO from the Urban League, Eddie Cohen, who has also been working with minority businesses, and they have assistance and training right now. Or you could go to our website, 513relief.org. We also connect you to the African American Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and everything you need to know. Just hit the small business icon. It's a relief-a-thon, and small businesses definitely need assistance. But I wanted to bring in our health commissioner. I know he is involved with the briefings that we have every week with Commissioner Driehaus. But I also there's some new information. There are some new ages that are allowed to get the vaccine, and I wanted him to give us a brief update of what is going on with COVID-19 vaccination. Commissioner Kesterman.
Well, thank you for having me, Commissioner Reese. It's my pleasure to be here. There is a ton of new information available right now with regards to COVID-19. We continue to see lots of updates and lots of new things happening. Today, Governor DeWine this morning announced that anyone over the age of 40 will now be eligible to receive vaccine, and that begins effective this Friday. And so, what this does is it creates a lot of demand here in Hamilton County. We know that there are a lot of people that are still wanting to get the vaccine that are eligible. And so our team, along with the other 50 providers in Hamilton County, will just continue doing the best we can to get vaccine and to get it out into our community. The one other thing that I think is super exciting right now with regards to vaccine is each week we are seeing more and more vaccines come to Hamilton County. Right now, this week we are seeing 16,000 doses coming to the 50 providers that I just mentioned. Next week, we will have 20,000 doses coming to Hamilton County. In addition, there will be a site set up at the Cintas Center where we'll do mass vaccinations that will have another 5,000 doses that starts this weekend. So I just encourage everyone, if you want to get vaccinated, please try every provider, call them often, and you will get an appointment. All of those providers can be found on our website, which is hcph.org. In addition, you can, if you're not good at computers, feel free to call 211. They're helping schedule appointments and are another great resource in our community.
And let me just say that Commissioner Kesterman, a lot of these things come down from the state and we have to implement them. I wanted to put that out there. So, and you're doing a good job of taking what the state is saying we have to do. They control the doses, they control what the age is, but you're able to get this information out. And I want to thank you. Last week we hosted our first mobile pilot program in Woodlawn, Village of Woodlawn, and I want to thank Mayor Brian Poole for hosting us there. So this is a new thing. Now you can be 40, 40 and up, and you can get the vaccine. And quickly tell us, there's 3 types that are out there.
Yeah, there are 3 types of vaccine available currently. One is Pfizer, which is a 2-dose series. The other is Moderna, which is also a 2-dose series. And then lastly, we just have the J&J vaccine available, which is only a single shot. And what we know about all 3 vaccines is all 3 vaccines are extremely effective at preventing severe illness as well as hospitalization. So if you have an opportunity to get vaccinated, I strongly encourage you to do so.
And I do want to indicate, we do know that people have been frustrated in terms of trying to register. That is something that the state has, mandated for this. And they're working on getting that better. But also, the governor mentioned that at some point that will be lifted as well. So is there anything new about the registration or a better way that people can get registered?
Unfortunately, while demand is so high here in Hamilton County, it is very difficult to get registered. You do have to continue to try with all of the providers. The best tools that I have, and I've been successful at helping navigate other people through the process, is by going to our website and looking at each of those providers and going online a couple times a day to each of the providers and checking back and looking for appointments. And I promise that eventually you'll find an appointment. But most important, please don't get discouraged. We want you to get vaccinated. We will find a dose of vaccine for you. So please stick through and you'll get vaccinated in time.
Thank you, Commissioner Kesterman, and thank you for the work that you're doing and keeping us updated. You can call 211 as well. They've got the hotline going throughout this time, but I thought it was important because I know there's a lot of people who have questions about getting the vaccine, and it's so important. We want you to get the shot in one arm, and an economic shot in the other arm. And we're focusing on the economics tonight. Let's go to the Free Store Food Bank CEO, Kurt Reber. And I want to say to Kurt, I went all over the county 1 year ago. COVID hit us, and we had to get food out. And I was happy to work with the Free Store Food Bank and Meals on Wheels to help get food to seniors and have pop-up food pantries in Evanston and all throughout the county at churches, etc. Kurt, what is available for people? Because food is number one. I saw people pull up who needed food, who had never needed help before, and it broke my heart. Let's talk about what's going on with making sure people have the basic need, which is food.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Reese, and thank you for your leadership during this unparalleled time. As you said, food, connection, and hope. That's what the Free Store stands for. And we've been providing 1 million pounds of food every week to families right here in the tri-state area. And in Hamilton County, in addition to our Liberty Street Market, which is open up from Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon, and as well as our other 600 plus pantries in our 20 county service area, we also have large-scale food distributions that are happening at our Marison Distribution Center in Bond Hill. And those happen every month, the first Wednesday and third Wednesday of every month. So we see about between 800 and 1,000 families every Wednesday on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. But in addition to that, folks can get assistance to our benefit enrollment center by, if you call 211, our social workers and caseworkers will be able to connect you with our SNAP benefits, Medicaid benefits. We've also worked with JFS to underwrite the unemployment benefits as well. So our team is able to really pivot and work directly with the families that are in need right now. Because as you said, Commissioner, 75% of all the families that we've seen at our large-scale food distributions have been new to the Free Store Food Bank's Pantry Network. They have never needed to seek assistance. So they need some guidance and direction. and the support that we can provide to them is really allowing them to do that. We continue to have our stabilization services that are available at our Customer Connection Center in Over the Rhine. In addition to that, we have our workforce development programs. Our Cincinnati Cooks program and our Lift the Tri-State program are both bringing students in and getting them jobs. Even in the culinary field, our graduates continue to get jobs in the $14 to $15 an hour range, and our Lift the Tri-State graduates are getting jobs within the $18 to $19 an hour range. And we know that that job allows them to have the wherewithal and the impact they can have for their families. And the Free Store really provides that safety net of services for this community. So we're thrilled to be part of what we're working on here. And we know that by calling 211 or go to 513relief.org, you can get connected to our social workers, our caseworkers, and our benefit enrollment specialists.
And one of the things I think is unique, if you call 211 right now tonight, you've got people working right now ready to take calls that you can help and assist and provide wraparound services for them. One of the things when I came down to meet with you a couple months ago, you gave me a story about a gentleman who was one of your top volunteers, always brought his son down, that would bring food and would donate to the Free Store Food Bank. And you said one time he showed up after this pandemic and he was with his son. He says, and the son said, "Dad, are we here to help again?" And he says, "No, we're here to get help." And that touched me so much. Are you seeing a lot of that down there at the Free Store Food Bank?
We really are, Commissioner. When you think about it, the families that have been supporting the Free Store over the past 50 years, this is our 50th anniversary year right now. And we have always been, it's neighbors helping neighbors. But the family that you mentioned, it came in, and what he told his son was basically this, is that over the years, we've been making deposits to the Free Store Food Bank to support other families. And today we're going to make a withdrawal. So that's what this Relief-a-thon is all about, is being able to make those withdrawals from these great organizations that are part of this effort and really trying to make a difference in our community, because we know that together we can create a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community with everyone's help.
Absolutely. We're all in this together. One Hamilton County, thank you so much for your work. Kurt, call 211 right now. He's got his folks ready to answer your calls right now and provide help. But I want to stay on food. Let's go to Meals on Wheels Senior Services and talk to our CEO, Jennifer Steele. Now, I remember a year ago, the governor, Governor DeWine, was getting ready to shut down the state. And Meals on Wheels reached out and said, we need volunteers because we need to get not just 1 week's worth of food, but 2 weeks worth of food. And it was an eye-opener for me, as many with myself and some of my volunteers. We went all over the county trying to get these meals to seniors who needed it before the state shut down. Welcome, Jennifer. Tell us about what's going on with Meals on Wheels and senior services. And if there's a senior out there or a family member that has a senior citizen as a part of their family, how do they connect with Meals on Wheels?
Commissioner Reese, thank you so much for having me and for all of your help this time last year when really the world changed for everyone, but especially for seniors. We said overnight, every senior became a shut-in, at home, homebound senior. Many seniors who were able to move independently through the community, get to the grocery store, were unable to when the shutdowns occurred and transportation wasn't available or safe, and they weren't able to get to the grocery store like they normally could. Couldn't rely on the help from family members who maybe had lost their jobs or weren't able to get out anymore. So we really did rely on the help of volunteers like you and your team to provide meals that are complete, nutritious, tailored for the needs of seniors to seniors directly in their home. We are able to provide so much more than a meal. We're a friendly face. We're a check-in call. We're able to provide food for the pets of seniors in our community, and in some cases, even home delivered groceries. So if someone is in need of assistance right now, we provide many of our meals in partnership with the Council on Aging, who you're going to hear from next, But we have options for seniors at all income levels. They can call 211 right now and let us know what kind of help they might need. And we'll be able to follow up and make sure they get connected with our services or our services in partnership with the council.
That is so important. I remember delivering a meal, and the senior, he was so happy just to see someone show up. He was so afraid because he had saw on television that the state was going to shut down, and he had lived alone, and it almost brought me to tears. He wanted me to stay and have tea with him just to have someone there. So the work you're doing is so important. 211 is the number. You can go to 513relief.org. Meals on Wheels, so important. Senior services. Thank you, Jennifer, for all that you do. Let's stay on seniors because our seniors are so important. Let's go to Council on Aging CEO Susan Burke. And she and I was just together with the governor this past week with a pop-up vaccination event in Walnut Hills, and was able to see seniors getting the vaccination shot. Susan, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you
Hello.
are.
Yes. Hi, Commissioner. Thanks for hosting this and thanks for having me today. Yes, we just saw each other last week. One of the roles COA is focused on now is helping seniors get vaccinated. And so we've been working with the Ohio National Guard to set up vaccination sites at low-income senior buildings throughout Hamilton County. We're also working right now on with the health departments on homebound vaccinations for seniors, and we are registering seniors at COA who need vaccinations at home, who are unable to get out, whether they're wheelchair bound or getting medical services in the home. We're trying to get the vaccine to those individuals. So we are focused on that, along with helping seniors get transportation to the vaccination sites. So seniors needing transportation can call us. We're helping seniors get registered. A lot of times, as Greg Kesterman referenced, checking multiple websites all day long prove difficult for seniors. So by calling 211 or calling us directly, we have staff who are helping seniors identify registration, vaccination appointments, and we're actually registering them if we can. Otherwise, we are providing them information in their zip code about provider sites. So any senior who's struggling with getting a vaccination appointment, we're happy to assist by just giving us a call. And as Jennifer mentioned, over the past year, seniors have been disproportionately impacted by COVID with unable to get out of their homes, many seniors dying from COVID. And so I really want to thank Hamilton County and the commissioners in particular who made additional funding available to COA for food that enabled us to provide, and Jennifer's organization, to provide those 2-week meal boxes to individuals, not only on our programs, but other seniors that were in need.
Now, one of the things you also do, you work with other organizations that help seniors. I know Sandra Jones from SOACT has been in Avondale and other African-American communities helping with seniors and connecting to you. Tell us about if there's an organization out there that works with seniors, how can they partner with the Council on Aging? Because I know you bring a lot of partners together to help our seniors.
Yes, we rely heavily on our provider network and partners in the community. So if you're an organization and you're seeking to partner with us in some capacity, please let us know. Give us a call at our main number, which is 721-1025. And you can ask for provider relations or myself, and we will I'll work to hook you up with the right individuals in our organization to explore those relationships. But one of the great things about the pandemic, the silver lining, is the new collaborations we've been able to form. We've been working with several large businesses and several new small and minority businesses helping with our Comfort Meal program, which is providing restaurant meals to seniors in low-income senior buildings. And the seniors have just been elated to receive what they call, restaurant meal. And Jennifer's organization and others in our network have helped distribute those meals. So it's just been a wonderful partnership among so many people and agencies, and we really appreciate all of that effort.
Thank you so much. And you can call 211 now if you got an organization that wants to partner with Council on Aging, that we can connect you. If you know a senior that needs help, please call 211 right now so we can help. Senior can dial 211. They don't have to worry about the smartphone and all that. 211 for help. Now let's go to the Community Action Agency. We had and they offer a lot of help, a lot of service, but I want to start off with mortgage assistance because they're one of the only places right now that I know of that has mortgage assistance. I have people say, wait a minute, what if I'm not a renter? How do I keep my home? I bought my home. How do I keep it? So let's go to Bond Hill, my community, to the headquarters of the Hamilton County Community Action Agency and talk to Nikki Williams, Vice President of Communications. Nikki?
Good evening. Hi, Commissioner Reese. Thank you so much for putting this relief-a-thon together for families in our area who have been impacted by COVID-19. And yes, you are right. We are helping people with mortgage assistance. In addition to mortgage assistance, we are also helping with water, sewage, and electricity bills. We have assisted more than 6,000 individuals in our community, and we are working hard to make sure that we get to everybody who is in need at this time. So if you are in need and you are, the qualifications are just to be someone who has been impacted by COVID-19, and that's either indirectly or directly, meaning if you or someone in your household had the virus, or if you have been displaced from your job, or you had to quit your job to take care of your family, whatever that situation is, we are here to assist. And we're also looking for people who are at 80% of the area median income. So that is for a family of 4, you should make about $69,000 annually. We are looking to triage those individuals who are currently facing foreclosure and disconnect. So if you're facing foreclosure and disconnect, we are pushing you up to the top so we can get to you immediately because we know the need is great. We are assisting people in arrearages back to April of 2020. So we can help you pay your mortgage through April of 2020. So if you need that assistance, you can call the hotline right now. 211 is here to assist. So call 211, or you can go on, the 513relief.org, and our information is there as well. And in addition to helping with your mortgage, we are also helping individuals who have lost their job during this time. We know that a lot of people had lost their jobs, so we have partnered with some really great agencies, the Urban League of Greater Southwest Ohio and Cincinnati Works, and we put together a rapid relief program. Or rapid reemployment program, And through this program, we are able to help people find a job. So any barriers that you may have, whether that be childcare or if you're in need of transportation, we're also assisting with paying for any supplies that you need for your job. We're looking to help you build your resume to help you find your next career. And on average, people coming through that program, they're getting about $15 per hour. So like I said, we're working with some really strong organizations, the Urban League and Cincinnati Works. We're all here and we're pounding the pavement to make sure that we're helping those in Hamilton County who need it most. So you can visit call 211 or visit the 513relief.org. And as always, you can always visit your community action agency at cincy-caa.org.
All right. And I want to thank you for all of that. You have a lot available. 211 is the number, and 211 will be able to connect you with CAA in terms of even scheduling you to be able to get a call back and response. Tell us about that, Nikki, real quick. If someone calls right now, 211, they connect with Community Action Agency. How does that work? Because you got a lot of services to be able to help them right away.
Absolutely. So if you call 211 right now, we actually have someone that's there and they're returning calls right now. Like I said, we are working hard to make sure that we get to you. So if you call 211 right now, we are working to get through the list. The calls are coming in, as Commissioner Reese has said. So they've been coming in all day, and we are working right now to make sure that we're getting to you. We're calling you back and trying to make sure that we figure out what your needs are. And then if you need some further assistance, we are going to help you with that. If we don't get to you tonight, we will get to you within the next 24 to 48 hours to make sure we make that initial contact and identify what your needs are and make sure that we get to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki. Let's go to All In Cincinnati. I want to go to them before we wrap up.
Hi, and thank you so much for having me today. And thank you so much for this partnership. I truly appreciate it.
Now, tell us, All In Cincinnati, you had a policy that you put together about how do we better coordinate these types of services. And I want to thank you. You had me on talking about it. And this is kind of how Relief-a-thon, came about in terms of trying to bring everyone together.
Yeah, so All in Cincinnati is a racial equity coalition working to dismantle racial inequities in health, housing, education, economic mobility, and justice with the goal of uplifting Black women in Hamilton County. And yes, you recently were on our last coalition meeting and you did a phenomenal job. And in our coalition meetings, a lot of our community members talk about like, where do we access resources? And you did it. You created this unique opportunity for multiple organizations to showcase or highlight their resources so that the community can access those resources that they need in the way that they need it, when they need it, and how they need it. So I just want to commend you on this great initiative that you've moved forward.
And I want to say it's Denisha Porter from All In Cincinnati. And, tonight, what was one of the things, one of the things I learned some things myself, we all learn. But one of the things is breaking down those silos. How important is that? Because I know that's something All In Cincinnati is doing. How do we break down silos to just get direct help to helping people?
Right. And so All In Cincinnati is all about breaking down those silos and really looking at things. And so by you having that one-stop shop with the 513relief.org website, you have truly broken down silos and put all the resources right there so community members can access those in a quick, easy, and efficient manner.
And what other resources would you highlight? I know we took, mental health is one. And a lot of people are dealing with mental health that maybe weren't dealing with it before because of all the pressures of what COVID-19 has brought upon people in their homes.
Yeah, definitely. I would highlight mental health resources right now. COVID-19 or 2020 was a hard year for all of us due to COVID-19 and racial injustices. And so I would encourage people, if they're having feelings of depression or anxiety or stress, please reach out to your medical provider, your physician, or seek a therapist. It's really hard right now. And I heard a statistic earlier today that 46% of teenagers right now are really experiencing anxiety, stress, and feelings around depression. So I encourage parents to really take the time to check in on their children right now to see how they're doing, to make sure that they are able to cope moving forward around this pandemic. This has just been a really hard year. And I just want to make sure that people are taking the time to care for one another, love on one another a little more, so that we can collectively move forward as one Hamilton County.
Thank you so much, Denisha Porter, All In Cincinnati.